Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Together with the Presidential Communications Office, we bring you the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IBC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and Presidential Broadcast Service. I'm Princess Habiba Saripao Dak. Welcome to Balitang Pambansa. Tonight's headlines. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAG-ASA, says it will eventually announce the end of Amihan or northeast monsoon, which will usher in hotter weather in the days ahead. Due to the hot weather being experienced in the country of late, the Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System, or MWSS, is anticipating an increase in the demand for water and has laid out plans on how to save up on the most precious commodity. The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, calls the latest accusation of China that it is the Philippine side that is causing pollution in the West Philippine Sea as mere deception. The administration's senatorial bets continue to woo voters in various areas of the country. On top of the news, in the coming days, the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAG-ASA, may announce the end of the northeast monsoon or hanging amihan, and a hotter weather can be expected. PTV's Rod Lagusad has the details.
In the coming days, PAG-ASA may announce the end of the northeast monsoon or hanging amihan. As a result, expect hotter weather. Based on PAG-ASA's forecast, the heat index is expected to reach an extreme caution level today in most parts of the country, including Metro Manila. Based on PAG-ASA's forecast, the heat index in the Pasay City is expected to reach 39 degrees Celsius. In Science Garden, Quezon City, it will be 38 degrees Celsius, while in Dagupan City, Pangasinan, it will be 42 degrees Celsius. With this, some local government units have declared schedule adjustments or cancellations of classes. Yesterday, the forecasted heat index in Metro Manila was 46 degrees Celsius, but the actual recorded temperature in Science Garden, Quezon City was 37 degrees Celsius.
Ito po ay inaasahan natin na magpipik pa hanggang sa mga darating na araw, lalo na po sa buwan ng April at May, kung saan mas matataas po ang inaasahan nating heat index forecast. So kumbaga nagsisimula pa lang talaga tayo, kaya at least yung ating mga kapartner na mga sa LGUs at sa ibang ahensya ay alam na nila kung ano yung mga dapat gawin na kapag nag-issue si PAG-ASA ng ganitong forecast.
According to Masalio, the northeast monsoon is waning and weakening at this time. While some areas are still experiencing cool gusts of wind, particularly in the northern parts of the country, especially early in the morning. But here in Metro Manila, the hot weather is already being felt by so many who try to find ways to somehow alleviate the high heat. Gilbert, a jeepney driver, who is working at this time, drinks 3 to 4 bottles of water with ice.
Bumili ako ng tubig na nag-iilo kasi ang init eh. Kasi yung panlaban ko, pamaypay. Kasi di kaya pag ano eh. Parang di ako makahinga, sobrang init. Tapos wala siyang hangin na pumapasok.
Meanwhile, construction worker Joseph is also being extra cautious to avoid heat stroke.
Pag inom po ng tubig na malamig, tsaka kunting sagop ng hangin, para maano lang po yung natin sa katawan, init. Dililim po muna kami po sa bandang parte kung saan medyo mahangin-hangin.
PAG-ASA reminds the public to take extra precautions, especially for people like Gilbert and Joseph, who are out during the hottest parts of the day, including those in vulnerable sectors such as senior citizens.
Kapag nag-terminate na po tayo ng ating northeast monsoon, ng ating amihan, so mas expect po natin na mas drier na yung condition natin. So sa mga ibang lugar po, mas kokonti na yung mga pag-ulan at mararanasan na po natin yung mas matataas na temperatura.
PAG-ASA explained this not only a heat index but also the actual temperature of a location. From PTV Manila, Rod Lagusad, Balitang Pambansa.
Si Since mid last week, the mercury on the thermometer has reached dangerously high temperatures or high heat indices. With such development, the most susceptible to danger or at risk are those who work on the streets and under the sun, such as traffic enforcers of the MMDA and motorcycle taxi drivers of ride-hailing services. RBN Manalo narrates the daily routine struggles of two professionals making a life by exposing themselves to the dangers of the elements and perils of the road.
Due to the hot weather, some LGUs have canceled classes today. One of those affected or hit hard by the extreme heat are motorcycle taxi drivers. So Rider Noel and Marjun have their own strategies to reduce the extreme heat.
Sumisilong kami sa mga puno, sa mga lilim, mga ganun. Tapos nag-hydrate kami, may dala kaming tubig.
Kapag walang booking, yan, sa ilalim ng puno, diyan kami tumatambay.
Even traffic enforcers like Robert on the street are not safe from the heat.
Uminom lang po ako ng tubig, sumisilong po ako para maiwasan po yung heat stroke.
A senior citizen and traffic enforcer for more than 4 decades, Mang Danilo also drinks a lot of water to hydrate himself and prevent heat stroke.
Inom tayo ng tubig, marami para hindi tayo ma-stroke. Magpapahinga po ng konti.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA is taking a lot more care of its traffic enforcers in this hot weather, including the implementation of heat stroke breaks.
May programa dyan ang aming pamunuan, bigyan ng heat stroke break yung ating mga traffic enforcers. Sa kainitan po ng araw, mula 10 o'clock hanggang 3 p.m. So salit-salitan sila nagkakaroon ng 30 minutes break.
So MMDA reminds,
iwasan po natin ang pagbababad sa init at lagi ring magbabaon ng malamig na tubig at maaliwalas yung mga kasuotan. At kung maaari, meron tayong protection sa ating ulo.
Meanwhile, the Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE is reminding employers to follow health and safety policies to prevent heat stress and other effects of extreme heat. From PTV Manila, Bien Manalo, Balitang Pambansa.
Due to the intense heat, the heat index is expected to reach very high levels, increasing the demand for water in Metro Manila. Despite this, the Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System, or the MWSS, assures sufficient water supply from Angat Dam, which provides 90% of the city's water needs. Although water levels in the dam are lower than usual, they are still above critical levels, and measures are being taken to conserve water. Water companies like Manila Water and Maynilad are working to recycle water and improve efficiency. The government is also preparing for the potential impacts of extreme heat, urging the public to follow the health advisories to avoid heat-related illnesses.
Lagi po maghahanda ang pamahalaan patungkol po dito. Kung ito po ay makakaapekto sa ekonomiya natin, ay tayo po ay lagi maghahanda tungkol dyan. Extreme caution po ang sabi ng pag-asa na dapat nating gawin.
On the other news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. will designate safe evacuation sites and establish permanent relocation areas for residents affected by the eruption of Canlaon Volcano in Negros Island. According to the chief executive, this initiative is part of the government's long-term plan aimed at ensuring the safety and welfare of affected communities. President Marcos Jr. also underscored the need to evacuate residents from the danger zone and construct large evacuation centers to accommodate them. Additionally, the leader of the land plans to form a small but effective national task force on Canlaon in coordination with the Department of National Defense and the Office of Civil Defense to oversee response efforts. Meanwhile, a video from Chinese state media showed smoke coming from the BRP Sierra Madre, which the China claimed caused pollution in the West Philippine Sea. The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, confirmed the smoke was from a routine fire drill and was quickly controlled, dismissing the accusations of misleading. The Philippine Navy also clarified it caused no environmental harm, while the National Security Council condemned misinformation on Chinese social media, claiming Palawan is part of China, calling it fake news.
Sa puntong yan, malaman natin yung sinong may pakana nito. Diyan kami nakatutok ngayon at sinisiyasat natin kung sino nga talaga yung mga nasa likod nito.
On the other news, the Senate is set to investigate how Goo managed to leave the Philippines and evade law enforcement. With this, the National Intelligence Coordination Agency, or NICA, revealed during a Senate subcommittee on Justice and Human Rights hearing that dismissed Bamban Tarlac Mayor Alice Goo escaped through the Tawi-Tawi backdoor. It is the same finding the Bureau of Immigration, or BI, gathered through its investigation. Senator Risa Hontiveros gave an ultimatum of 15 days to the BI before she calls for a revamp of the agency in a subcommittee report. Meanwhile, she also asked about the whereabouts of former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque. Some congressmen claim that only Vice President Sara Duterte is benefiting from the delay of the impeachment trial. According to House Assistant Majority Leader Pami Zamora, the public want the Vice President to answer all the allegations against her during the trial to immediately know if it is true or not. Meanwhile, House Assistant Majority Leader Jude Asidre asserted that only VP Duterte is benefiting from the delay. As of now, some congressmen showed respect to various civic groups who planned people's impeachment movement to show the Senate that there is a real public clamor about the start of the impeachment trial. Meanwhile, Senate leaders are open to reviewing cyber laws to address fake news. Senate President Francisco Cheese Escudero is waiting for the Department of Justice's proposal to amend laws, while Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel suggests creating a new crime for spreading fake news, but stresses the need to balance it with free speech rights. Both leaders recognize the importance of addressing the issue while safeguarding fundamental rights.
Ako, si Chufila Botas, ninyo ni Pablo Botas. Nag-edad og si Pablo Botas og 81. Ako nag-edad og 80. Kaagigid mi diri nga magkaon og balanghoy nga raspahon ra namo. Unya magkuan og kamuti. Isagway bugas nabuhi rami. Naana na pod nakakaton rami ani. Aning kamot lang gihapon mi bahala og wala pay titulo. Aning kamot lang gihapon mi nga maka panginabuhi ni aning iriya nga among bitikad. Kaya ni salig naman gid maayo sa agrarian na mauna nay among maangkon pohon.
Ang kaning sa agrarian po usa ka kaayuhan sa mga pobre. Kaya wala yuta tagag yuta.
Boy, ani ang atong titulo nga nadawat gikan kang sa agrarian reform pinirmahan ni BBF og ni Conrado Estrella III.
Salamat, yan na.
Malipay na kaani, boy.
And we are back. The administration-backed Senate slate under Alianza sa Bagong Pilipinas coalition will hold their next campaign rally in Camarines Sur on Friday. The admin senatorial bets remain busy and continue to woo voters with their respective campaigns in various areas of the country. PTV's Mela Lesmoras tells us more.
as she participated in the Liga ng mga Barangay Cebu Provincial Chapter Convention in Iloilo City, alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas senatorial candidate and House Deputy Speaker Camille Villar assured she will continue supporting efforts that strengthen barangays as well as ensure additional benefits for barangay workers. According to Villar, every barangay plays a crucial role in society, so it is only fitting to prioritize their needs and welfare. From Iloilo, Villar also held a motorcade in Capiz where she met with several mayors in the province. Alianza candidate Benhur Abalos also made rounds. He was joined there by Baraan 1st District Representative Geraldine Roman. Meanwhile, re-electionist Senator Bong Revilla expressed his gratitude to fellow Caviteños after a massive crowd gathered to support him during his motorcade there. In Paris, France, House Deputy Majority Leader Erwin Tulfo met with officials of the Philippine Embassy to discuss the conditions and concerns of overseas Filipino workers in the area. On Friday, the administration's senatorial candidates are set to come together for their campaign rally in Camarines Sur. Other Alianza candidates include Makati City Mayor Abby Binay, Senator Pia Cayetano, Senator Lito Lapid, Senator Amy Marcos, and Senator Francis Tolentino, as well as former senators seeking a comeback, Manny Pacquiao, Panfilo Lacson, and Tito Soto. From PTV, Mel Las Moras, Balitang Pambansa.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, Department of Science and Technology, or DOST, and Department of Information and Communications Technology, or DICT, have joined forces to uphold the order, integrity, and credibility of the upcoming 2025 midterm elections. The agencies formalized their collaboration through 3 memorandum of agreements to reinforce government's commitment to a transparent and credible electoral process. Under the agreement, the DICT will oversee online information systems and spearhead efforts against misinformation, disinformation, cyber attacks, hacking, and any attempts to manipulate election results. Meanwhile, the DOST will focus on training and certifying the Board of Election Inspectors to ensure they are well equipped and knowledgeable in handling election procedures. According to the poll body, around 330,000 teachers who will serve the election are already undergoing training. Meanwhile, the NLEX C5 North Link Segment 8.2 project will provide faster and safer access for motorists in North Metro Manila. The groundbreaking ceremony, attended by officials from various organizations, marked the start of construction of this 11.3-kilometer elevated expressway. It will connect the NLEX Mindanao Toll Plaza to Quirino Highway, offering a direct route for travelers to and from Novaliches and Quezon City. With a budget of over 2 billion pesos, the project aims to reduce traffic and benefit passengers, businesses, and logistics. To ensure the stability of the country's power supply due to the looming dry season, the Department of Energy, or the DOE, encourages the public to adopt energy efficiency measures during peak hours. Meanwhile, Senate President Francis Escudero calls for stricter regulation on mining operations. These and more in tonight's Business Wrap from the Philippine News Agency.
Moving on to our business news, the Department of Energy encourages the public to adopt energy efficiency measures to ensure the stability of the country's power supply due to the looming dry season. The DOE, in a statement, has urged the public to refrain from high energy consuming activities during peak hours. Peak hours are typically from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekdays and from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on weekends. The DOE said shifting energy-intensive operations to off-peak hours can help lessen grid strain, improve energy efficiency, and create a more sustainable power system. Meanwhile, Senate President Francis Escudero calls for a stricter regulation on mining operations to maximize the industry's contribution to the national economy. Escudero on Monday presided over the public hearing on inactive, non-operational, invalid, or unused exploration permits or EPs and mineral production sharing agreements or MPSA. During the hearing, Escudero said EPs and MPSA do not benefit the people and contradict the declared policy of the Philippine Mining Act of 1995. Moreover, he added that these unused EPs and MPSAs also impede the government from issuing permits to more capable contractors. Meanwhile, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas reported that over 1.3 billion pesos worth of coins have been deposited through its coin deposit machines as of February 16 this year. The CODM project was launched on June 20, 2023 to allow customers to conveniently deposit their legal tender coins as credits on their GCash, Maya, and other electronic account wallets or convert them into shopping vouchers. This initiative supports the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Coin Recirculation Program. The BSP has deployed CODMs in partner malls across the Greater Manila area. And that's the latest business news from the Philippine News Agency. This is Marita Muahe for Balitang Pambansa.
Good news! Several senior citizens from Romblon received cash gifts from the National Commission for Senior Citizens or NCSC. Paul J. Set for the PIA Mimaropa has more.
13 senior citizens in the province of Romblon received cash gifts from the National Commission for Senior Citizens o NCSC as part of the nationwide simultaneous inaugural cash gift distribution led by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. last week. Among the beneficiaries was Adoracion Montojo Morgado from the town of Romblon. Adoracion received 100,000 pesos cash gift along with a special message from the President Marcos Jr. in recognition of her long life. Meanwhile, the 12 other senior citizens, consisting of octogenarians and nonagenarians, each received a 10,000 cash gift and a certificate from the government. In a short interview, Adoracion shared his secret to longevity, a simple diet of sweet potatoes and cassava. She also expressed her heartfelt gratitude to President Marcos and the government for the financial assistance she received. Meanwhile, the family of a 90-year-old Consolacion Molina extended their appreciation after receiving the 10,000 pesos cash gift from the NCSC.
Salamat kay President Marcos sa iyaya na gintaw niya sa ako ning nanay.
The distribution of cash gifts is in accordance with Republic Act 11982 or the Expanded Centenarians Act, which was signed into law on February 26, 2024. Under this law, Filipinos who ages 80 to 95 years old will receive 10,000 pesos cash gifts, while centenarians, those Filipinos who reaches 100 years old, will receive 100,000 pesos as recognition for their contribution to the society. From Philippine Information Agency Mimaropa, Paul Jason Foss, Balitang Pambansa.
The city government of San Fernando, in collaboration with key maritime and defense agencies, recently launched the Making Waves Youth Leaders Unite for the West Philippine Sea Summit. This seeks to empower young leaders by equipping them with vital knowledge and advocacy tools to support the preservation and protection of the West Philippine Sea. Kathleen Joyce Ramones from PIA La Union tells us more.
Spearheaded by the City Legal Office and the City Youth Development Office, this event united future leaders with experts from the Naval Forces Northern Luzon, Philippine Coast Guard, Philippine Navy, and the 1st Civil Relations Group. Discussions covered the geopolitical, economic, and environmental significance of the West Philippine Sea. Experts shed light on maritime security, the 2016 arbitral ruling, and the importance of sustainable resource management.
You are here as stewards of heritage, protectors of our rights, and champions of our future. The West Philippine Sea is more than just a body of water. It is a lifeline for our economy, a symbol of our identity and a beacon of our sovereignty. As young leaders, your role is understanding, defending, and sustaining this vital resource is more critical than ever.
Workshops provided advocacy tools, communication strategies, and leadership skills. Through breakout sessions, participants develop action plans, social media campaigns, community projects, and policy proposals.
Napaka-importante pong maintindihan nun in order for us to know what we are fighting for. Kasi hindi naman po magandang pinaglalaban lang natin without knowing kung bakit nga naman natin ito pinaglalaban at ano nga ba ang basis natin, bakit natin sinasabi na ang West Philippine Sea ay sa atin.
The summit is part of San Fernando City's broader effort to instill patriotism and environmental responsibility among the youth.
Through sustained action and unwavering commitment, the youth of San Fernando City are making waves for the future of the West Philippine Sea. From the Philippine Information Agency, La Union, Kathleen Ramones, Balitang Pambansa.
The Health Department has officially launched Puro Kalusugan, a program designed to bring quality health care directly to local communities. The initiative was conceived to address gaps in healthcare access, particularly for underserved populations. V. Tolentino Gomban from PIA Eastern Samar tells us more.
On February 26, 2025, the DOH launched Puro Kalusugan, bringing quality healthcare directly to the communities. Lucila was among the first to benefit as Barangay Libas in San Julian became the program's pilot area in Eastern Samar.
This is a new strategy and initiative of the DOH Secretary Erbosa. Kasi ang gusto niya, gusto natin lahat na the Filipinos will be the healthiest. Ano? We want to give the best health services possible to every Filipino, down to the barangay level, because that is the promise of universal health care.
Unlike yearly medical missions, Puro Kalusugan offers weekly visits, ensuring ongoing healthcare support. Residents also received assistive devices such as canes and wheelchairs during the program launch. Lucila recalls the heartbreak of seeing her neighbors suffer, forced to rely on home remedies and prayers due to scarce medicine and the high cost of traveling to town for treatment. Now, residents of Barangay Libas will have consistent access to medical services, including vaccinations, maternal care, tuberculosis treatment, and disease prevention programs. With Puro Kalusugan now in place, no one will have to endure illness in silence anymore.
Salamat na gida mo, ingay gida na ko, salamat. Ang nagdudumara ini programa. Gida ko, salamat.
For Lucila, this initiative is a dream realized, a healthcare system that finally reaches the people she spent her life serving.
From the Philippine Information Agency, Eastern Samar, V. Tolentino Gomban, Balitang Pambansa.
And that concludes a rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again tomorrow at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Princess Abiba Saripaudak, and this is Balitang Pambansa.